So for today's tutorial, we're going to be using these yarns. So they're quite thin, so I'll be pairing them together. I'll be using double strands, and I'll be using my 6mm hook. You'll be needing a pair of scissors, and basically that's it. We could be needing some stitch markers eventually. We'll be needing some stitch markers eventually. Might need a measuring tape, but all of that will come into play later. And let's get into the tutorial. So we'll be starting with a slip knot, and this is how to make a slip knot. You go in here into the circle and you pull up a loop, and you tug at this tail here to tighten off the end, and this is it. I'm sure by now we already know how to make a slip knot, okay? And we'll be making a chain long enough to go from our shoulders to our upper butt cheek. And for these projects, I'll be making about 130 chains. So I just did 120 chains, and I'll be making one more chain to seal off this round, and I'll be going in here with a single crochet. So for 5 chains, I'll be going in with a single crochet. 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets. And these single crochets here are actually for these are actually for the bottom part, because I want it to have like this cinch at the bottom. So yeah, and this is going to be a ribbed pattern all the way. It's going to be a ribbed pattern. So now I'll be going in here with double crochets. So I'll be doing double crochets until I get to the end of the chains, okay? Double crochets all through to the end of the chain. So I'll see you when I get to the last chain. So I'm now at the end, and I have 2 more chains to crochet my double crochets into, and this is the last one, okay? So like I said, this sweater is going to be done with the ribbed pattern, and for the 5 stitches at the bottom, we'll be going in with single crochet, okay? Front loop. So let me show you how that is supposed to be done. So we're starting here with our front loop, okay? Front loop, double crochet. So if you do not understand what the front loop is, okay, so you see the top of our stitches here, there is this loop here at the back, there is this here at the front, okay? So instead of just going into this part of our work, which is normal for every normal crochet project, we'll be instead going into the middle and going through the front and pulling up our yarn, okay? So that is front loop. So you yarn over, go into the front loop, pull up the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, let me show you that again. I think I was a little bit away from the camera. So you yarn over, go in through the middle and to the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is going to give you a ribbed pattern, and it's going to be a little bit stretchy, okay, but basically it's just about the rib pattern. So as we keep going, we'll go into every double crochet with front loop double crochets. Okay, so every double crochet stitch will be going in with front loop double crochet stitches, and that is what we'll be doing up until the very end. So basically we're going up down, and when I get to the bottom part of it, so I'll be going in with single crochets. I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm just doing that for 5 stitches at the bottom. I hope this explanation does it really well. So I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so just keep going with your front loop double crochet, and that's about it. It's pretty simple. The stitches are really simple to get a hang of, so you don't have to do too much. Just basic crochet stitches, basic. Don't forget to like this video so that the algorithm will share it to people who are looking for this, and subscribe to the channel, please. You know, we're still growing, and yeah, let's get more people into this community. All right, so I'll see you when I get to the bottom. So I'm back, and so far I have done all of this. It's pretty long, you know, because this is supposed to get like below the waist and kind of like above the glutes. Anyways, so I have gotten to the last front loop double crochet stitch, just completed that, and now I'll be doing my single crochet just to show you how that goes. So I'll be going in here with a single crochet stitch, front loop single crochet, into the next with a front loop single crochet, and we'll be doing that for the 5 stitches at the bottom, and that is how you know the bottom part of our project. Okay, so front loop single crochet, and finished. So you see this part is a bit thinner than here, so it cinches while it gets to this bottom, it gets small. So we'll be repeating this for more rows, because this is supposed to cover like let's say half, not exactly half, but like one shoulder when it gets to our neck part, and then when we get to like the full half part, that is one shoulder part, we'll start doing decreases for the v-neck. And I'm going to let you know how many rows of this I'll be doing in the next clip. So for now, we just keep repeating the same thing that we're doing here. You keep going up, down, alternating. You just keep alternating, and yes, remember we're doing single crochets at the bottom, front loop single crochets, and then at the top, or the rest of the project rather, we'll be doing front loop double crochet. Okay, not half double, double, because this is supposed to be a maxi project. Yeah, this sweater is going to be really maxi. And I'll see you when I do many more rows, and I'll come back to let you know how many rows I did. So if you're a big person, if you're a small person and you want to make it for like a small size, you just have to stick with these measurements and know that this should be big enough to say cover up your one shoulder part of your body, but of course it's going to be quite oversized, so going with some extra rows so it drops down a little bit to your arm. Yeah, a little bit down your arm, and yeah, basically let me not bore you with so much explanation and end up confusing you. So I'll see you when I have done the other parts, you know, when I've increased this a little bit, and then we'll be doing the V part of our sweater. See ya. All right guys, welcome back. So far we have about we have 20 rows of our sweater top, and I started row 21 coming up, and here I'll be doing decreases for the V neckline. Okay, so in this row we're going to crochet up until we have 3 stitches left. Okay, and we'll be doing our reduction there. So now we have 1, 2, 3 stitches, and this is how we'll be reducing. We'll go in here, pull up a loop, go in here and go into the third one and pull up a loop from both. Okay, then we do our double crochet. It's a 4th century Greek manuscript. It comes from basically, okay, but if you do not want to do it that way, you can do this. Go in here, pull up a loop, go into the second one, pull up a loop, go into the third one and pull up a loop. Okay, and then you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, this is it. So that still works. So whichever way you want to do it, you do it that way. Then you chain 1 to seal off the round, turn your work and go the opposite direction, repeating the same thing at the beginning. Okay, so at the beginning you go into the first front loop, pull up a loop, go into the second, pull up a loop, go into the third and pull up another loop, and then you go 2, 2, 2. Okay, or you can do it the other way. You go into the first 2, pull up a loop, go into the third, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and just like that you still have your reduction. Okay, so we are reducing into 3 front loops basically, and we're doing that because we need the neckline to plunge. We need a deep V neck, and that is why we're doing this. Okay, so you keep repeating this for about 20 more rows, and when I get to the amount of rows that I get to do for this, I will come back and I'll show you. So this will be done for 20 more rows. So you keep reducing at the top. Okay, so you only reduce at the top 3 for the next 20 rows, and continue doing your front loop single crochet at the bottom, and keep with your double crochet front loop stitches for the rest of the body. All right, and I will see you when I get to the part where we need to do increases for the other part of the v-neck. I'll see you when I get there. All right guys, this is where we're at now, and I was able to do 16 rows of decreases, and I'll be doing 16 rows of increases to go up on the V. And this is the full length so far. It's pretty long, actually. It's pretty long. So yeah, this is what we have, and I'm going to show you how to do the increases. Okay, so I just have to crochet from here and go up, and when I get to the top, I'll be doing some increases. Stay tuned. Okay people, so far we have our should I say 38 rows of half part of our body. It's pretty long. My camera format cannot get everything. Yeah, we did 16 rows of decreases, and we'll be starting our increase row, but I began the increase row already, but the first row is going to be the same as this. Okay, so our last row of decrease is going to equal our first row of increase. All right, so far here I have 90 stitches on this row. Like, we know it's pretty long, it's a pretty long sweater, and on this same row I need to have 90 stitches as well. Okay, so That means we will not be increasing here. We will simply be mirroring the exact thing we did here. Okay, so I'll be going in here with the same number of stitches, and it's as simple as that, period. Then we will now start our increases on this row. Okay, we'll start increasing on this row. So remember, we did some double increases. Yeah, some double decreases. Sorry, we did some double decreases wherein we went into 3 different loops to do a decrease. So that means we decreased 2, not just 1. So for us to increase, we'll be increasing 2, okay, not just 1. And this is what I mean. Yeah, so come in here. So I just done my work. Come in here. You can increase by yarning over, going to the front loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you go into that same space and do another double crochet, and in that same space another double crochet. This is it. It's as simple as this. Okay, so this is your increase. Okay, this is your increase, and then you go into every other stitch with 1 double crochet. That's it, period. Or we can do this. Okay, oh yeah, I didn't have to go that far with my frogging. Anyways, you can go in here with 2 double crochets in 1 front loop space, and in the next front loop you go in with another 2. Yeah, that does the increases as well. You still have your increases, so whichever way you choose to do it, good for you. So you just go into the other parts of the sweater with 1 double crochet in every front loop until you get to the bottom, where as usual we'll be doing 1 single crochet in each front loop, 5 stitches only at the bottom. Okay, and we'll increase for the same number of rows that we have decreases here. We have 16 rows of decreases, and we started our increase on the second row of the increase, because the first one and this last one have to be the same, so they are just mirroring each other, and this is where the height takes off. All right, so I hope that is not confusing. And yeah, this is basically how it goes. So we keep increasing until we get to our row 16 of this part, and then we stop our increases and just do our regular rows of crochet, of front loop double crochet. Okay, all right, and I will see you when I get to my row 16. See ya. All right guys, so I'm going to be explaining this in the best way possible. So I don't think my table would do justice to this, so I have to use my maths. Okay, so first of all, we have 20 rows of non-increases. Yeah, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and I'll be attaching my stitch marker to the 20th row here. Okay, and then we did decreases for about 16 rows. Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so this is 16th row. I hope my head is not in frame. Okay, this is 16th row. Yeah,
And then we did another 16 row of increases here. So this is our 16 decreases. I hope I said decreases at the beginning. Ignore that stitch marker there, okay? I was counting my stitches and I put that there to be sure that I didn't make any mistake. I probably did, but let's move on from that. um so here I did this 16 rows of increases, but something to take note of: the first row here is a non-increase, okay? So everything on this side has to correspond with this side, and it has to, because we'll be repeating the same thing for the back side. All right, it has to be the same on the back for equal length, shape, whatever. So I did here no increase, and that is so that this here, the first row on this part, is going to correspond with the last row here. Okay, so it has to be the same. This line, this line the same, this line, this line the same, up until you get to like the 16th row. So what I did here is, because there is no increase here and because there is a decrease here, we are going to do our increase for 16 rows actually. Okay, now the 16th row, which is this here, is going to be the first row of our non-increases. Okay, that is the first row of this part. So what I did is, this is my first row of increase, basically, but just without the increase. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, right? So we got 16 rows of the increase part. On the 17th row as well, we will be increasing. And the reason why we'll be increasing is because this row here has to match with the number of rows for the non-increase part, okay? So for the non-increase part, it has to correspond. So I did my increase on this first row of non-increases. I did an increase there, and then I'll be doing 19 more rows without any increase at all. So I'll just be mirroring what I did on this row. Let me attach a stitch marker. Okay, let me attach a stitch marker to the end of the increase row, or rather the supposed increase row. Yeah, so you know what, let me attach my stitch marker to this. Okay, so let's just say this is now our row 1 of non-increase rows. Yeah, but there is an increase on this. I hope this makes perfect sense. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, if, say for instance, you have 100 and say 18 rows here, simply because we have 120 stitches on this side, you have to increase to make this row 120, so that every other part of the non-increase row is going to be 120. All right, because we did some double decreases and double increases. All right, so everything has to match. So I'm just going to continue doing the same thing here that I did here. No increases, just keep going. If you have 100 stitches, you keep doing 100 stitches. If you have 200 stitches, you keep doing 200 stitches. If you have 120 stitches, you keep doing 120 stitches. Okay, and it has to rhyme with this side. All right, so I will see you in the next part of the video. I hope this explanation really does the magic.
So I just finished working on the let's say half part of the project. So this is probably the front or the back, depending on which part I choose it to be, and so far it's been good. So I'm going to show you how to begin the second part without having to just repeat what we did here, basically. So easily you could just cut off your yarn and do what you did here all over again, and then join the two panels together. But instead I want to show you how you can do this without having to cut off your yarn and start all over again to achieve a second panel. So stay with me. I'm going to work from down to the up, and when I get to somewhere where the armhole is supposed to be, I'm going to stop, and I'll make chains up. Basically not exactly chains, but it's going to be like half double crochet chains, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a single crochet, front loop single crochet, like we've been doing, to give it the ribbing at the bottom. My brain is fried. I think it's because of the weather. So yeah, so I have my 5 front loop single crochet, and this give it the rib pattern at the bottom. Okay, you can see the bottom is a bit cinched. So I'll be going into every stitch until I get to the part where I want to draft out for my armhole. I'll be doing my normal double crochet front loop stitches, and when I get to say 40, so when I get to this stitch here, I'm going to stop and then begin my, what is it called, my half double crochet chains. Okay, that is going to be a little bit of the magic. So we keep crocheting until I get to where the stitch marker is at, to make to draft the pattern for my armhole. All right, we're back, and I am 1 stitch away from our stitch marker. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So we'll go in here and we do our front loop double crochet to end off the rest of the body parts while we begin the armhole. Now this is what we are going to do. Look closely. So I'm going to yarn over. Now in your stitches in between this, in between your stitch, yeah, you can see that there is something that looks like a V shape, yeah, and then there is a thread, a yarn that goes inside of it, and there's a yarn that goes inside of it and can be lifted. So this is it. This is me lifting it. Yeah, this. So how we are going to do this is go here, yarn over, go into that loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we're going to do this 40 times, or should I say 39? So we'll find that same stitch, or rather that same rope in this stitch, go through it, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and as you can see, we have our chain and we have our stitch together. We have a chain and we have a stitch. All right, so this is the easiest way, or should I say the most creative way to do it. That way you don't have to how do I put it, you don't have to make chains and go up and the stitch is just going to be imbalanced. That means you will now have to cancel this stitch and just let it be an underarm stitch, but that doesn't make any sense because this is now going to appear on the other side. This is supposed to be on the other side because it's going to be like the demarcation for the armhole. Okay, so it's best to do it this way. I just thought of it and I'm like, this is the best way to do this so I don't end up, unless you want to just do your double panels, okay, then of course that will be more evened out. So I'm going in again to that same stitch or to that same loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and so far we have 3 stitches. Okay, and you can see the chains at the bottom, the supposed chains at the bottom. 1 2 3. Okay, then we yarn over and we keep doing the same thing. This is actually me freehanding this project, to be honest. It's free-handed. I'm not very good at planning projects, so I like to freehand a lot. If I make my mistakes along the way, I will frog and start all over. Yeah, I have chosen the path of suffering. So we keep doing this until we get to 39 stitches of it. Okay, so watch closely, see what I'm doing. Now there's going to be an easy way for this to happen, so you might need to hold on to this thread a little bit, not so much. Okay, yarn over, pull through two, so that when you yarn over and you want to begin the next stitch, you don't have to go in to find it. So it's just there, it's just hanging, and then you do this. But you also have to be careful while you do that, so you don't end up having a loose bottom. Okay, you need to be careful while you do that. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Okay, so you see the place I held is a little bit loose, but I will need to fix that. This other place I held it to, but it's not as loose as this. So this is what the error can be like if you're not mindful of how you're holding it. Okay, so be careful while you at it. Okay, so you can hold it, but it's not going to be loose. So you just go in again. So it's just balanced. Okay, so we keep going up until we get to row 39 for the 1000th time. And I'll see you there, because I would like to attach the last stitch to this. Okay, I would like to attach the last stitch to this. I want to do that, so stay tuned. Bye. Yeah, welcome back, and I have 39 double crochet foundation chain foundation chain double crochet, whatever. And for our 40th, we'll be going in here with our front loop double crochet. This is what we'll be doing. So go into this here. Okay, I won't go into this here, we'll be going into here as well. So pull through both, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Wow, I'm a genius. And that works it. Work it. That does it actually. So here we have it. Okay, so just in case you didn't see what I did, yarn over, go into the loop at the bottom, then go into this stitch of this round here, pull through it and pull through the bottom loop you went in from, and yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. And here we go. We have our armhole, and now we have to do the rest of the body. Okay, now you do not necessarily have to do this unless you want to. All right, so you can just do your normal thing that you did here and seal off your row. Okay, and then just turn your work and keep doing what we have been doing. Go through your front loop double crochet, go to your front loop and do your front loop double crochet, and keep doing the same thing to the down. Then when we have all the stitches we need, then we can just sew the top together. All right, just so it doesn't get confusing. I think I'm liking the risk. Turn your work around, yarn over, and continue doing your front loop double crochet. Okay, keep doing your front loop double crochet until we get to row 20. Okay, and when we get to row 20, we'll now start doing our decreases, just exactly what we did on the other side. Okay, so that's just it basically.
All right, people, welcome back. So I repeated what I did on the first side for the second side, and I'm going to show you how to join it together because I did something entirely different for this part. So I want to do that for this. So in order to join these two parts together, you have to turn to the place that is like the inside part of your work, not the outside. So this is the outer part of my work, and there is no how I'll be joining it together here because I wouldn't want to leave what looks like a seam even though it's going to be seamless. So I am going to be flipping this. I'm going to be turning it inside out, be joining together. Okay, so you can see this place here at the bottom, and I'm going to join together up until I get to the parts where our armhole is supposed to be. I know you're wondering why I'm going back to count all over again when I could have done that. I just needed to be sure that I didn't skip any stitch. So yeah, so I have my 30 stitches here. I have to do the same thing here so I can join it together, and this is 40. So we've got our 40 here, and I have joined it together, and now it's time to do our sewing. And I'm going to bring the camera closer for this one because how we'll be sewing this together, we'll be sewing this together in a way that is going to fit the rib stitches. I know this part is going to betray it a little bit because I started this project out with I don't know, how did I start this project out? I've forgotten. But anyways, so yep, let's get into it. Get into it. All right, people, so I'm going to be going in like I'm doing my front loop double crochet. Okay, so similar to what I was doing before, and I'm going to be going into this loop here. Okay, I'm going in here and pull up a loop and slip stitch. So we'll just be doing slip stitches here. Pull up a loop, slip stitch. Okay, go into the front loop and go into the front loop here as well. Pull up a loop and slip stitch. So try not to do it too tight, okay, because it's really important that you don't get to pull the next thread so tight that you would miss one, because we're trying not to miss any. So this is it. How cool is that? Look at the stitch, brilliant. So I'm going to keep going up till I get to my stitch marker, and when I get to my stitch marker, I'm going to be stitching the top parts of my shirts, like the shoulder parts. I'm going to be stitching that as well. So yep, if you know how to do that, then you don't have to wait for me. So if you do not know how to do that, I'm going to show you how I'll be doing that. So I'll see you when I get to my stitch marker. All right, people, bye. Yeah. All right, people, welcome back. So I'm done stitching up the sides, and this is it. Okay, this is down to the top. Okay, I'm watching Count Dracula. I have to pause that. Go away. So here we have it. This is our very clean seam at the end. Okay, and I got to our last stitch away from the stitch marker. Okay, And now I will be cutting off the yarn. Now it's time for me to stitch the top parts, the shoulder parts. Okay, this is the shoulder parts. So you know, we did 20 stitches on each side before we started doing the V stitches, and our V stitches is I say 20 stitches, 20 rows, please, 20 rows. Okay, 20 rows. And so we're going to stitch those 20 rows together: 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18 20. So this here, okay, here I'm going to begin um joining my stitches together. Now for this part, you could use your darning needle. Okay, you could actually use that, or you could just use this. I don't know which one to use. Any, mini, money, more. Okay, um, that laugh, that laugh does not belong to me. It's a borrowed laugh. So, we're going to be joining this parts together. If you're using a darning needle, you just have to go through both, you know. So, normally I start from here. Yes. Then I go in here because these are like the first stitches. Now this is what I usually do. Okay, when I start it off, I actually tie it. When I start, I tie it. Okay, I tie an actual knot. I'm going to be crocheting this into the arm parts. So while I have this part sorted out, I'll be going into the other part. So make sure that it equals. Okay, if you're going into the first stitch, make sure it equals to the second. All right. Go away. You're not supposed to be here. Okay, so you just keep going into each hole that fits the other, and basically that's just how you'll be sewing it. If you have any other style of sewing, you can apply that, but this is what I'm doing here. I'll see you when I get to the end. Hello people, welcome back. And I have completed sewing the shoulder parts together, as you can see here. So this is it. I used my stitch marker and my yarn to sew it like I showed you previously. And now I am going to be doing the neck. Okay guys, so we'll be starting with a chain one, just to tighten this part off, and in that same space you can actually go with another chain one and leave it at this as the stitch there, as your single crochet there actually, but I prefer to go in and do a proper single crochet. Now what we'll be doing next is, for every space, wherever you see a space, wherever it is that you see a space, go in with single crochet. Okay, going with single crochet wherever you see a space is as simple as that. All right, so we'll be going in with single crochets into every space we come across. Okay, go into each space with a single crochet, and we'll be doing this all around. So a single crochet into every space. We'll be doing this all around up until we get to the beginning where it all started, and then we'll be slitting off our round. Okay, and then we can now start the rib pattern. I'll see you when I get there. All right, people, we are done doing our single crochet round, and we're joining our stitch here, the last with the first. We're going in and doing a slip stitch to seal off our round. Okay, there you have it. So for everything else, we'll now begin our rib pattern to do the neckline. Okay, and we'll be doing 5 single crochets, sorry, 5 chains rather, my bad, 4, 5. Okay, and I'll be going in. Okay, we'll be setting this off with one more chain. So we'll be going into each stitch with a single crochet, going with a single crochet until we get to the 5th one. 4 and 5. Okay, and when we get to the 5th one, we'll be joining it with the next stitch at the bottom. Okay, so remember where we joined our work together, the stitch is attached to the first chain 5 we did. Okay, so this row of single crochet, will be attaching it to the next stitch with a slip stitch. Okay, so you see we're attaching it with a slip stitch, so there you have it. And then we'll be going into the next space with a slip stitch as well. Okay, and then we'll be going into our single crochets. Okay, the 5 single crochets we did earlier, we'll be going in there with the front loop, just similar to what we were doing. Okay, we're going in with our front loop, single crochet, okay, front loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet, and then now, so for this here, we will not be doing the front loop, we'll be going in with our normal single crochet. Okay, that's because I want it to have a properly finished look on that place. You chain your work to seal off that round, and then you go into the first one with our normal single crochet, and then into the next 4 we'll be going in with front loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet 1, front loop, single crochet 2, front loop, single crochet 3, front loop, single crochet 4. So we are at the end now, and we'll be joining this work with the stitch beneath it with a slip stitch. Okay, when you do your slip stitch, you go into the next stitch with another slip stitch. Okay, and then you turn our work, and we go into our 4 stitches with our front loop, single crochet again. So front loop, single crochet. For the 5th one, which is the one at the top, we'll be going in with our normal single crochet, not front loop. We're taking both the front and the back loop. Chain 1, repeat the same thing, and we'll keep going around until we get to this part, and then we join our work together, just the same way we did our joining together for the body parts. But when I get there, I'll show you how I do it. Okay.
Okay, people, we are back, and here is our neck. Okay, this is our v-neck, and I think it's pretty V, you know, pretty V. That's stupid. I will be joining together this side and this side, and so you have to do that from the inside part of the sweater. Okay, from the inside part. So I'm twisting it in a little bit to do that, so that the seam will be on the inside. You get me? So so here is how this will be done. So I'll be going through this first stitch here, okay, and I'll be going through this here, the back loop, because when you turn it to the inside, what's supposed to be the front loop on this side will be the back loop on this side. So I'll be going into this stitch and this back loop, and I'll be pulling in this loop, okay, on our thread, and sealing it off with the slip stitch, or more like a chain. Going to the next, okay, but I'll be going into the one loop at the top as well, and then this loop here, and I'll be doing a slip stitch, okay. Going to the next, going to the back loop, pulling our loop, and doing our slip stitch. And this is the fourth, going to the top loop as well, going to the back loop here, pull in for our slip stitch, and the last one but not the least, to go in, okay, go in, go into the back loop as well, pull in my loop and a slip stitch, and then chain one to seal off the round, okay, and cut it off. Here we go, it's on the inside, the seam is on the inside, and then we can hide our ends. That's crazy. So here we have it, and we have our v-neck proper, and yeah, this is how we do our neck. So it turned out really good. I actually thought it was going to be a lot more wide, but it isn't, so that is a good thing. If you think for yours, if you think this is going to be too small, just in case you do not walk while watching the video, then if you think it is too loose, then you can just do the normal, I don't know, maybe half double crochet or double crochet, depending, instead of single crochet. But that's whichever one works best for you. But I like this. The weather is really good today. Yeah. So let's get to the arms, the sleeves, guys. So this is the first arm I did, and I'm going to be making the second. So you don't need to make it very, anyways, let me not start with the assumptions, because I don't know how everybody is doing their own, or the sizes that everybody else is doing. But for what I did, I made about 55 chains, and as usual, I made the front loop single crochet at the front, the first 5, and for every other one I did my front loop double crochet just like I did for the body of my work. So this is it, and I'm going to be showing you how I did that on the second hand, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, and this is our armhole, and I'll be going in with, so this is just to tie it off. Okay, this is just to tie it off, this stitch here, and then I'll be making 55 chains. So count to 55, okay, because that is going to be the length of the hand for this maxi size sweater. I think I have to count now. Mind you, the first one we did was to tie, okay, so it doesn't count. As you can see, it's really tight. As you can see, it's really tight, so that doesn't count. So we're starting from here. 1 2 3 4 46 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55. Okay, and after 55 you make a chain 1 to seal off this end, and then you go into this first chain here with a single crochet. Remember, the the um the bottom of the sleeve is supposed to cinch, so that's why we're doing the single crochet here. So single crochet for 5 stitches, 3 4 5. Okay, so we have our 5 single crochets, 1 2 3 4 5, and then we'll be going into every other chain with double crochet. Okay, so to make your double crochet, you yarn over, go into the chain space 1, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're at the end, and we have one more chain to put a stitch into, and this is it. This is what we have so far. Okay, and we'll be going into this space here with a slip stitch. Okay, so going in here with a slip stitch. Now, just in case you are so fast to skip the tutorial and be like, okay, I know this, like I said, I'll be doing something different here. So I'll be going in here, okay, with a slip stitch. Now normally we are supposed to begin another row of double crochets, okay, but instead we're going inside the next one as well with a single crochet, with a slip stitch rather. So we are doing 2 slip stitches. Okay, now the reason why I didn't do 2 here is because I only did a chain at this bottom here. So the chain is kind of like a foundation, and to me it's just a part of this as well. So normally I would have joined these 2 spaces together, but they are now joined together, saying that this is the chain and this is the body, and there is not so much to the chain part, no much length to it, so this works. So since I chained this part of the double crochet to here, that makes up for the 2. So now I'm chaining into 2 different spaces. Okay, I think I didn't go in properly in the second one. No, let me do it again. Now see, I've made my row of double crochet, going in here with a slip stitch, to seal off the row, to connect it to the body of the sweater here, and then to begin the next row of double crochet for our sleeve, I'll be going into the next 2 spaces
with slip stitches. Okay, and that's because if you look at this, we have these stitches facing up, and this one is going the opposite way to it. So the length is two of these stitches facing up, if you know what I mean. So turn the work around, yarn over, and go into this first stitch. Remember, we are going to maintain a total of 55 stitches. Okay, so you go into the front loop of the first double crochet and you do a double crochet. Okay, so this is it. Yarn over, go into the next with a double crochet, and we keep doing the same thing till we get to the end. And when we get to the end, I'm going to be showing you something we'll be doing just to make the cuff part of the sleeve to be more cinched. Okay, so I've gotten to the cuff. I think cuff is what they call it, right? So we have 5 stitches to go into the front loop. So we're going into the front loop of this with a single crochet, going to the front loop of this with a single crochet, and when we get to the end, we will not be going into the front loop at the end. Okay, we'll be going in like we're doing a normal single crochet, going into both back and front loop, the both loops, and this is it. And the reason why we're doing this is because this pattern gives a stretch. Okay, the front loop or back loop pattern gives a stretch, but when you go into both, it makes it stiff. Okay, so it's going to make it more smaller, whereas this is small but has a stretch to it, but this part of it will not be getting any stretch. So chain one, yarn over. I think I'm falling sick, but I pray I don't fall sick. I woke up like this. Not the Beyonce way. Excuse me. I can feel a flu coming, and I'm praying against it right now. But I know why. Anyways, enough yapping and getting carried away. So we'll be getting into here, and we're doing our normal single crochet again. So for um every, what is it called, every last stitch for the cuff parts, every last stitch for the cuff parts, we'll be doing a normal single crochet, and then for the rest of it we'll be doing front loop single crochet. Okay, front loop single crochet, front loop single crochet. So we have our 5, 2, 4, 5, and then we keep going into the rest with our double crochet. And when we get to the end, I'm going to show you how we are supposed to make the top parts, the joining of the sleeve to the armhole of our sweater, because we'll be doing the double stitching. Okay, that's the double slip stitching. So when I get there, I'm going to let you know. So keep going. I'll be going off now, and when I get to that part, I'm going to come back. Alright guys, we're at the end, and I must tell you something. You really should be careful so you do not mistake this as a stitch. Okay, our stitch ends in this. Okay, like this is where our stitch ends, so take note of that, so you don't think that this is a stitch and then you go in here with a double crochet. Alright, so I'll be doing the last stitch into the front loop of this here. This tail is still hanging loose, so go in here with your double crochet. Okay, remember this is not a stitch, this is where you're joining together. So how I'm going to join this together, as you can see, this place is connected to here, right? So for me to connect this row of double crochet of our sleeve to the body of the work, which is our armhole, I'll be going in here and going in here. So I'm going into two two holes, okay, or two loops, I don't know what's called, anyways, two of the stitches here, and I'll be pulling out a loop for the first one, okay, and I'm pulling out a loop for the second from the second one. Now it's a bit tricky because of the size of the hook I'm using, so I usually just turn it down and then pull it from around, and then I go into this stitch here and I seal it off. So that's how I do it usually. And after doing that, I'll be going in here with a slip stitch and going into the next one with a slip stitch as well, because each row is going to be covering two stitches at the armhole here, remember? So this is what we have. It looks okay, all right, because this actually, the length actually works, all right. So I'll be turning my work, and then I yarn over and I continue doing what we've been doing with our stitches. Okay, so I'm going to see you when I get to the end, and make sure to keep your number the same. Okay, your stitches must stay at 55. It must not increase or decrease. And let's also use this chance to click on the subscribe button if you've not subscribed to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. I don't write patterns and sell. I do this for free, so it will be really, really lovely if you just support this channel by subscribing and getting me monetized. Thank you so much, and I'll see you when I get to the end. And like this video, okay, so that the algorithm can push it and suggest it to other people who want crochet tutorials, for this sweater is kind of like a big deal on Pinterest. I saw it, and I showed it to my friend. My friend was like, "Oh, I love this, I want it," and this is actually for my friend. So yeah, she's like the one friend that keeps patronizing me back to back. Right now, she's now like an annual customer. So every year she requests for something, and I'm really glad that I have her. And yeah, shout out to you, friendy. um, yeah. So I'll see you when I get to the end. Welcome back, and I just finished making this hand. Okay, and it's now time to join it together. Now, as you can see, this is the outside part of my sweater. So in order for me to do the joining together, I will have to do that on the inside. Okay, so we don't leave seams on the outside part of a sweater, we wouldn't like to do that. Yeah, so it's time to get this bad boy together. Now this ended on this side, and I am not left-handed, I'm right-handed. So how I do mine is like this. I go in to the first space, the first stitch, and then I go into this one as well, and I put my hook into the yarn. Okay, put my hook into the yarn, I pull it out through here, and I pull it out through the same one, and then I chain. So we're going to be doing a bunch of slip stitches, yeah, slip stitches, but keep it front loop. So I'll be going into this space here, and I'll be going through this loop here facing me. Okay, and I'll pull it out and slip stitch. Then into the next space, I'll be doing the same thing. Okay, go in here, go into front loop, or do I call this the back loop in this case? Man, I don't know, but you see what I'm doing. I think I tend to mistake front loop and back loop. I've been saying front loop since, and it's probably back loop for some people. I don't know, it's what's facing me and the one that is opposite it. So this loop here, okay, we have this and we have this. So I'm going on to this and pull up a loop and slip stitch. Okay, doing this until we get to the end. So we are at the last stitch for the slip stitch to join together our arm, or the arm of our sweater rather, and this is the last. You know, I'm thinking just because I am me and I did not end this project on the other side, my mind is not going to rest if I do not do this. No, you don't have to do this, please. When you just get to the end, you tie it off. And no, I do not have a CD. That's dumb shit. So yeah, we're done, and here's my scissors. I'm gonna cut this now. Ta-da! So finally done. Oh my god! Like I feel so happy. I'm about to start making like a bunch of bikinis and a dress after this, and I'm so excited to get started on something new. Now I am done with this, and I don't know. I don't even know how I feel anymore. Why is it so fast? Oh please don't mind me. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I'm done with this. So um I'm just weaving in the end in my own non-traditional way of ends weaving. I just use my hook and do things. I do things. Good things, not terrible things. Okay, and here we have it. It's a wrap, ladies, because I know it's gonna be a bunch of. If you're a gentleman, I need you to leave a comment so that I can um what's it called? So that I can recognize you, because that's so matriarchal. So ignore the existence of me. How does it feel? Yeah, so this is it, and ooh, so beautiful. Look at how clean the seam is. Like you can't even tell. You tell? You cannot tell. There's no how you can tell. Yeah, this is so beautiful, and I'm gonna show you the final review. Hi, welcome back to the channel, and this is Lemonade, Crochet by Lemonade.